Hello and welcome to Studio 415.
On today's show, you'll see what the Winter Guard show looks like.
You'll see the Charger spotlight shine down on one science teacher, Jacquelyn Leon.
And you'll get a preview of Carroll's jazz bands.
All that and more coming up next.
Really, jazz was my first love as a band student in high school.
Because he's fun to throw across the room. Oh my God.
But here at Carroll, we take pride in coming up with our own content.
Hello and welcome to Studio 415. I'm Sasha Stonova.
And I'm Macy Fall.
After every marching band season comes a fresh new Winter Guard one. This year's Carroll High School Color Guard has another great performance for students, parents, and fans to enjoy.
Studio 415 reporter Ella Hall had the opportunity to look into how this Winter Guard season is going and learn more about how it all works.
Carroll's Winter Guard works much different from the Fall Guard with the marching band. In Winter Guard, the entire performance is centered around the guard, with everything from dancing to different kinds of weapons. As a whole, Color Guard consists of flags, rifles, sabers, and dancers. All four play a different role in the show and are all very different from each other. Along with this, they have various other props depending on the show. The Guard itself is split in two, Junior Varsity and Varsity, which works just like any other sport. The key difference is that JV is practicing their talents before they can move on to Varsity to do more complex shows. Though, recently, the ranking system for the Guards changed, and now both teams are competing in the same class. Color Guard Director Ryan Long explains how although they are now in the same class, they don't see it as a rivalry.
We don't look at it as a competition because both groups come to the table with vastly different skills, but the JV this year specifically is really holding their own.
Although both teams had a rough start, they've been having a great season, and with the goal of state ahead of them, they've been practicing very hard. JV practices on Mondays and Wednesdays, and Varsity Tuesdays and Thursdays. Both teams come together on Fridays and have practice together to show each other their shows. They have competitions on Saturdays, with practice beforehand. So far, Varsity has placed first in all three competitions with their show, When the Night Falls. JV's show, You Are the Reason, has gotten 4th, 6th, and 5th. When coming up with a show, Long will get inspiration from the world around him, hearing songs or seeing things, and taking note of them. Long explains his inspirations from the internet.
With the new age of TikTok out there, sometimes I hear music, I see some things that might be interesting to me, so I kind of try to make a collaboration of those.
Along with a great season comes great students. Each student has their own part in the show, such as being on flag and dance or being on weapon and dance. Some even have their own solos to show off their talents and skills. They all learn the shows differently, some just needing practice inside and outside of school, but others just naturally remembering and focusing on improving. Senior Morgan Mills explains her interesting way of learning a show.
I've always been really good at memorization. I'm really good with math in that way. I can remember all the formulas and numbers. It's really weird how I have a kind of memory. You can tell me a date and a time, and I'll remember it for some reason. So I think it's just more natural for me.
If you want to see more of Carroll's Winter Guard, you can see them here at CHS on February 25th. The competition begins at 10 a.m. and lasts all day. With Studio 415, I'm Ella Hall.
Carroll's music department has many bands that cover different genres of music, such as marching band, pep band, and concert band.
During this time of the year, jazz bands are in the midst of their competition season. Studio 415 reporter Adriana Cardenas has the story.
Thanks, Sasha. For my story, I sat in on the jazz practices to get a better insight on their musicianship, dedication, and hopes for the upcoming state competition.
Since it was founded, the jazz program at Carroll has been evolving and developing. The jazz program is made up of 3 different bands, Jazz 1, 2, and 3. Every student that is interested goes through an audition process before being let into a certain band. Jazz 1 is considered the varsity jazz band, while Jazz 2 is the junior varsity band for those who are on a great level but not quite varsity. Jazz 3 is the beginner band, comprised of mostly freshmen. While Jazz 1 is the top of jazz band, 2/3 of the group is made up of sophomores and freshmen, unlike most years where the group is made up of older, more experienced students. Jazz 1 starts practicing on the first day of school and rarely has to practice outside of class, while Jazz 2 and Jazz 3 start practice in January, often rehearsing after school. Junior Sam Allen enjoys the relaxed environment in jazz band as an escape from the classroom.
I think it's just the relaxed environment because it's not in the classroom, and so you're able to just kind of have fun while playing music.
The instruments consist of piano, bass, drums, and guitar in the rhythm section, and trombones and trumpets in the brass, and saxophones and flutes for the woodwinds. All jazz bands are made up of 20 to 23 musicians. Sophomore Ryan Bodecker believes jazz band is special because of its interpretive element.
With concert band and marching band, you have like sheet music that tells you exactly what to do and when, but in jazz band, it's more of a suggestion, and a lot of the interpretation is up to you.
Each jazz band attends various jazz festivals around Indiana every competition season. A jazz festival is what the competitions are known as. Jazz 1 does very well at competitions. They were state champions in 2016 and have consistently been the top 3 bands at every local competition in Fort Wayne they have gone to. Jazz 2 also does very well at competitions, often placing in the top 2 bands. Although the competition is enjoyable for the bands, there is no real rivalry. The bands actually feel motivated by watching other schools who are just as talented. While all styles of music have their challenges, director Doug Estelle believes the thought process for jazz is different.
Their brain is firing on so many levels in that they're listening to what maybe the rhythm section is playing, but they have to have an understanding about what the chords are being played, and they have to think what notes sound good inside those chords, and how do I develop a story, and they're doing it literally on the spot. That doesn't happen in really any other form of bands we have here, so I think the last thing is that jazz is very much alive at Carroll, and if you haven't heard a jazz group here, come check us out.
If you would like to watch the jazz bands perform, they will be performing at the Northside Jazz Festival on February 18th. For Studio 415, I'm Adriano Cardenas.
Science teacher Jacquelyn Leon is about to sit in the hot seat and try to handle a few tough questions.
Host Will Jameson sits down with the AP Biology teacher to learn more about her in this week's Charger Spotlight.
Welcome back to the Charger Spotlight, and on today's episode we're interviewing your biology and chemistry teacher, Miss Leon, to ask her some questions about her personal life. All right, well, welcome back to the Charger Spotlight. Today we have Mrs. Leon. Thank you for joining us, Miss Leon. All right, so what is the science the study of?
Just how everything works together in the world.
Do you know everything then?
No.
No?
I don't think anybody knows everything.
Okay. So can you explain the average velocity of a sunflower for me?
The velocity of, that's physics, that's not me.
It's still science though.
Yeah, but I'm chemistry and biology.
Oh, okay. So why should a student take AP Biology?
If they want to go into science, they're going to have to probably take biology in college, so it's a good starter place, and we kind of look at many different aspects of biology so you can figure out what parts you enjoy.
So what could biology lead to in terms of like a college career?
It can lead to a lot of different things. If you want to go more medical, you could do doctor, nurse, lab technician, a lot of different places. If you want to go into research, there are so many areas of research, so you can work towards your master's.
I've heard your husband is an actor. What movies could students watch in order to see him?
That's a good question. He has a lot of little roles in bigger movies, and then Forge Reclamation.
How long have you been teaching?
This is my 5th year.
Okay. Is it true that Einstein invented the bidet in toilets?
I have no idea.
But you're a science teacher.
Again, I don't know everything.
Okay. What's something students should know about you?
I'm very sarcastic and very dry humor, so sometimes students don't know when I'm joking.
How tall are you?
How tall am I? 5'6".
5'6", okay. What is your relationship with Hasbulla?
My students gifted me a life-size cardboard cutout of Hasbulla, so now he sits in the corner of my room and watches over my students.
How do we fix global warming?
How do we fix global warming? That's a very controversial topic, so I feel like I should stay away from that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Will you let me cook waffles in your Bunsen burner?
No.
All right, well, should we introduce our special guest today?
Sure.
All right, Lainey Brooks, would you like to come in here, please?
Am I your favorite student?
Oh, depends on the day. I love all my students.
But like you know the most about me?
That's debatable.
Okay. How's Tim doing?
Tim is doing well.
Do you think people should be punished for things they don't do?
That's a very loaded question.
Do you have any tips for me to pass your class?
Less gossip during class and more work.
That cuts deep, Miss Leon. Are birds real?
Are birds real?
Yeah.
In my experience, yes. Are all birds real? Probably not, but...
Will you do the gritty for us?
No.
What is your opinion on Cleve Millian?
He's a great principal so far.
Okay. Besides your husband, in your opinion, is Ryan Gosling the hottest man alive?
No.
What? Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks, Lainey. You heard it here first. Miss Leon has a Hasbullah cut out in her room, and she thinks you should take AP Bio. For Studio 415, I'm William Jameson.
The Carroll show choirs have gotten a lot of deserved recognition, but there's one part of the show that flies under the radar.
But as Studio 415 reporter Olivia Reed will show you, these musicians spend a lot of time and effort to help the show choirs sound great.
Carroll Show Choirs is made up of Select Sound and Minstrel Magic. Both show choirs have a band which plays the music for the group. The band is seated on the wing of the stage to give the show choir the center of attention. Show choir band director Scott Chapman says that show choir band was his first love.
I've just always enjoyed music, and so I love teaching the music, being involved with music. I was a music major first in college before I switched over to science, so I enjoy keeping that kind of aspect of what I do going.
The band is made up of many different people and instruments ranging from string instruments like guitars to key instruments like pianos. The students get to choose what instrument they want to play in the band. Sometimes professional musicians have joined the band to play certain instruments. Once they get started, the show choir band practices after school for about 3 hours. Lead guitar player Eva Mizerbeev says that creativity is a large part of the show choir band.
I think if anybody wants to play guitar that might not be interested in like our jazz programs, I think the show choir band would be perfect for you. There's a lot of like open areas for you to kind of be more creative.
The show choir band and show choirs will be heading to New York from March 22nd to March 28th to perform. When the show choirs and band are done performing, they will be exploring around New York for the rest of their time there. They will head back home after all their fun and wrap up the rest of their performances before the end of the school year. Trombonist Chase Knowles says the band wears specific clothes to stay hidden.
We have our own little dress uniform. We have just all black dress clothes to sort of blend into the background a bit more.
This Saturday, on February 8th, the show choirs and band will be performing at Chesterton and Northridge on February 28th. For Studio 415, I'm Olivia Reed.
Host Cohen Sussdorf gets himself into a bit of a pickle today by interviewing students before school.
What would you change about Carroll High School is one of this week's Commons Questions.
Welcome back to Commons Questions, guys. It is your host, Cohen Sussdorf. I'm a pickle today. Let's go. Let's get into it. Come on, Will. Hey, Alex. Hey. He hates me. Who is the best chipmunk?
Theodore.
Why?
Because he's fun to throw across the room.
Oh my god.
Theodore. 100% Theodore. Theodore.
Theodore all the way.
Alvin. I only know Alvin. Theodore, because he's so cute.
All the women are on Theodore today.
Alvin.
Why is that?
Because he's the instigator.
What about the other two?
They're very nice chipmunks as well.
But not Alvin.
Alvin he's just the instigator. He's funny.
Okay, this is cameraman Will. Hey, Mo, come here.
What's good, bro? All right.
Who's the best chipmunk?
Chipmunk? Like from Alvin and the Chipmunk?
Yeah.
Gotta be Theodore, bro. He's pretty lit.
All right, thanks, Mo.
I gotta say Theodore.
If there's one thing Carroll should change, what would it be?
Probably the school lunch,
Why is it bad?
because it lowers your life expectancy.
It like kills you.
It will.
I don't know.
Just say one thing.
More school closings. I don't know.
All right, what about you?
Everything.
Oh.
Taco Tuesday. Can we add that?
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's meet, collaborate.
That's fine. That's fine with me.
Okay, you're gonna finance it.
Yeah, sure.
All right, you're done. Got it.
Perfect.
Oh no.
Everything.
Is it that bad?
No comment.
Shorter days. I need sleep.
Go to bed earlier.
No.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Sending it back to you guys in the studio.
Developers spent $286 million on a downtown Fort Wayne project called Electric Works.
In my story, I take you to the new development, show you the sights and hear the sounds, and gather some opinions from the general public.
After decades of planning, the city of Fort Wayne opened the Union Street Market in November of 2022. Logan Patterson, an employee at Kikiunga, says that the majority of electric work businesses are from around Fort Wayne.
My favorite part is I really love how the fact that everyone in here is local.
Although the Electric Works project is not quite complete, it consists of 10 buildings with a total space of 740,000 square feet. 70% of this space is now occupied with more than 20 local merchants, a school, restaurants, and much more. Director of Sales and Operations, Caitlin Morgan, believes that the small businesses help make the Electric Work campus special.
Cool because especially here at Union Street Market, every business is a small business and most of them are locally owned.
Fort Wayne Electric Works offers a comfortable, tech-friendly office space with a modern design and lots of natural light. The highlight of all, neighboring the offices and workspace are restaurants and retail shops to help recharge the mind and body before returning back to work.
Really happy to see the whole entire complex being, revitalized and everything. It's awesome.
Although there have been a lot of new changes, you can still get a feel for the past in the GE Club basketball court and bowling alley. One part of Electric Works project that has been in development for quite some time is called Prayer Works. Prayer Works is a building that is hosted by 80 local churches, and it is open 24/7 for people to come in and pray about all sorts of things. Located inside Electric Works Forum is a video tour of the whole campus and all the things that Electric Works has to offer.
The Electric Works campus has had a lot of new changes, but they have some big changes coming soon, including expanding the cuisine and possibly reopening the GE Club bowling alley. For Studio 415, I'm Sasha Zdonova. That's all we have for today. Thanks for watching.
If there's a story you'd like us to cover, please let us know.
For all of us here at Studio 415, have a great week, Carroll.